Welcome everyone to the Arete Members Podcast. Chris Hopper, how are you, champion?
I'm well, very good.
How's your day been so far?
Not too bad, just work, session, work, just the usual.
Yep, cool. Mate, I've been really looking forward to sitting down having a chat with you, so thanks for taking the time.
No worries.
Start back at young Chris.
Yep.
Whereabouts did you grow up? Brothers and sisters, how was your family?
I lived at North Richmond my whole life and
Really?
still currently do.
Yep.
So 1986, so 34 I think, yeah.
34 good years.
Yeah. I have a sister, Laura, who's 30.
Yep.
And mother and father, John, Jenny, just the two of us. So.
Yep, cool. Has there ever been any thought of getting out of North Richmond?
I lived in Richmond with my mates for 6 months or so.
Yep.
That was okay, I guess, but eventually you always go back.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I moved to England for 6 months and lived over there a couple times. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Just back to sort of growing up, did you live on property or is it suburban block?
All suburban, North Richmond, so like every house is bang, bang, bang. But I had a lot of friends in the Currajong area, so I was always at their houses and, you know, I got a mix of both.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Has there ever been any desire to live anywhere else?
Oh, until recently, no, but I've always, I thought a change is as good as the weather, and I don't know, possibly down the track, maybe move, I don't know, to a beach or somewhere, but take it a day at a time, see what happens.
Yeah, cool. What do you love most about North Richmond and the Hawkesbury?
Traffic.
Lack of it? Or
Well, like 7 minutes to work, 7 minutes home. I guess
you can't beat that.
Nah. And everyone sort of knows everyone too. Everyone sort of looks after each other. There's, there's always one in every bunch, but you're going to get that wherever you move, aren't you? So, no, just that, and I like the laid-back lifestyle.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be too hectic, I guess. So even if I was to move, it'd have to be somewhere where we're not, in a rat race moving everywhere. Yeah,
somewhere 7 minutes from work.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing about it.
Do you have fond memories of your childhood?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Did you get up to mischief or?
Oh, I guess so. I was a party child, I guess. From a pretty young age, but I was also involved in sport too, so it was a bit of a mix of both. But never in trouble with the law or anything. But some funny stuff happened. Yeah.
What school did you go to?
Colo High.
How was that experience for you?
Excellent.
So did you go to Colo the whole time?
Yeah. So I did 7 to 12 there, and then I did Pathways, which is year 12 over 2 years. So I split it 3 subjects, and did a bit of sport as well whilst doing the Pathways. Yeah.
I haven't heard a bad word about Colo High.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah. There's being in the gyms, I've sort of come across the teachers from there. I've got to know them from coming to the gym and stuff. And it just seems like a great community to have, and great framework that they put students through. And
I had a couple of teachers who I still keep in contact with even now. Like a couple of them, I have their numbers, and if I was ever going through a hard time or something, I could have called them. And another lady, we hadn't seen each other in 10 years, and our children are friends now, and I see her at the gym or down at the Oasis swimming laps, and it's just nice to see everyone there again. Yeah,
that's what it's all about, hey? So you said you played sport?
Yep.
So school was good. What sports did you play as a kid?
Everything.
That's good. That's what I like to hear.
Athletics, swimming, baseball, cricket, soccer. Yeah. I was multi-talented.
So you're good at everything?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Did you come to a point? That's a tricky one.
I haven't got the stamina for it.
Or the patience.
No, that's it.
Did you develop quickly? Was it your coordination that was your strength? Was it speed?
In primary school, I wasn't that good, to be honest, up until about year 6, and then from there, I think I had a growth spurt before everyone else did, and I was naturally talented, but didn't have the desire to back it up. If that makes sense.
100%. I understand. Yeah. Do you recall why you didn't have that desire?
I don't know. It was, I always remember, like in year 4 or something, I just really wanted a Sydney West jacket. That was like my goal. Everyone else had these Sydney West jackets, and I just really, really wanted one. And then, I think, because I used to run 100 metres was my race, or 50 metre freestyle.
Yep.
And then the swimming was at the start of the year, so I got it in the 50 metre freestyle because I had the growth spurt and killed everyone.
Become that beast.
Yeah. And then got it later in the 100 and 200 and long jump, high jump. But yeah, I think once I sort of had it, I might have just went stagnant and just said this is easy. Yeah. And that also went through all of high school too. So I never trained or did anything, but I would still come first at all these regional things up to year 10 before I stopped caring, and it was sort of handed to me on a plate. Talent, but desire wasn't there, I guess.
Do you remember a time where you went from I'm not really good at everything to, do you remember a moment where I'm pretty good, I feel confident and I feel good?
Yeah, I think it was the Sydney West jacket.
That was it?
I can still remember it as clear as day.
I've
got it given to me at North Richmond School on an exact silver seat, and it was like the middle of summer, 40 degrees, and I put it on and I wore it all day. And like I just wanted it, so badly that I got it, and
it's amazing how that still is a trigger in your mind.
Clear as day.
Yeah. So that's the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that was a curse for your whole life? Did that set you up in terms of things have come easy to me, I don't have to work for it? Did that continue into your adult life?
Yes and no, I think, because I have, say for instance, work. My work ethic is really, that I think anyway, I have a great work ethic, and I always put everything on my shoulders. I don't leave it for the next person. I'm getting the job done. But in regards to that, possibly. But in other things, yes and no, I guess.
Probably what I should have said is, going through that in your teens with sport, has that now changed how you view life, and you do work hard now? Yeah.
Well, majority of the things I did were all team sports, so I always had that team mentality, and I guess the work ethic came from it because you're doing it like a footy player. The person next to you, you got to sit in the line, and I guess that it always did resonate into other things, whether it be work or friendships or relationships or everything.
Yeah.
So it definitely put us in a step forward.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Yeah. I think those teenage years and playing sport, it teaches you a lot about when you get older, you look back and say, okay, that did shape a pathway of my life. Yeah,
definitely. And with my own children now, I have one child who's extremely talented. It was me. Everything he touches, it's just easy for him. And my other child hasn't got a sporting bone in her body, but she's still trying and doing soccer and stuff at the moment, and her development over 2 years of playing in soccer, and she's very will stick by herself sort of thing. So that has just helped her dramatically move across in her life to get everything that she needs from sport, and then it's moved on to other things.
That's great. Your experience as a teenager going through that, and then having the kids that you do, I'll ask about them in a little while when we get to family. Has that helped you in being a father to them and the advice that you give them?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not only their father, I'm their friend as well, and they're going to make mistakes like I did, and I'm very, as a parent, I'll let my kids be kids, and because that's the worst thing I think anyone can do, is if you don't let them be kids and strictly, do anything like that, they're not going to learn from it.
Yeah, so 100%.
Letting them be themselves and have their own expression, it's definitely, they've got to do it themselves.
Yeah, and then that breeds creativity in them and helps them, learn about life.
Yep.
When they're allowed to have that freedom to be kids.
Yep.
And to enjoy that time.
Yeah, and they're not boring. I go to other people's houses and see their children, and I'm like, righto, good on you. And here's my kids, calling someone a knob or something like that. But
it's good. What was your favourite sport?
Probably cricket would have to be. Was the one probably I excelled the most at, but
did that help you enjoy it more?
Yeah, I guess so. And the exact same with all those other sports to start with. I only started cricket when I was 11 years old, and for 2 years I was rubbish. Yeah. But I just wanted it, and eventually got picked in my first rep side at 13.
Yep.
And just every single year I just developed massively from there.
Yeah. Probably because your attention was so focused on that.
Yeah.
Were you a batter or a bowler?
Opening bowler.
Oh yeah.
I was a bit of a nutter.
Yeah, I like that.
I would, some of the things I did.
Yeah, just intimidating the batsman.
Yep.
Yeah. So you just get that shiny red ball.
I remember when I was 14.
Steaming in.
I was, because you're only allowed to bowl a certain amount of overs per thing as like a younger child, they would just let every ball go through every so that I could get rid of my 12 overs, and then they have to face someone else. So the captain came up to me when I was only 14, and he said, I just wanted you to bounce this bloke every single ball.
Body line.
So I went around the wicket and I bowled a bouncer at this bloke, first bouncer, and he wasn't wearing a helmet, and I struck him on the nose.
Jesus.
30 stitches down his nose.
30?
And his whole face was cut like there.
Body line, 14-year-olds.
And so I walked up to him, and like he had blood all over the floor, and I said something along the lines of "get this bloke off" or something like that. And so the captain who's told me to go do it has had to go and apologise for me being a knob, and I was like, yeah, righto, okay. And then the next bloke came out and did the same thing. I just bounced him.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. It's there's something about you can have aggression as a fast bowler, or an opening bowler. And
even like my friend's father and stuff, he always remembers it. So I was at a Bucks party with his friend's father not long ago, and he goes, "Oh, how's Hitchcock's nose going? Is it still sideways down there at Benson's Lane?" I'm like, yeah, right.
30 stitches.
Yeah, something like that. It was like all the way from like up in the eye down to his lip. So it was really big.
Wow, you must have had some pace about you.
Yeah, I was okay, I guess. I don't know.
So step me through your cricketing career. So 14s, where did that progress?
So from under 13s to 16s, I was playing for North Richmond, and then also just in the rep side every year or whatever. So I was an opening bowler, batting about 6 or 7.
Yep.
In the rep sides.
Not bad.
And then from there went down to Hawkesbury grade club, and then played 2 or 3 years there, and then was just trialling for rep sides and stuff like that, and playing New South Wales schoolboys with Phil Hughes, Usman Khawaja, David Warner, Josh Layla, couple of people who've really excelled and stuff, and even like local boys like Steve O'Keefe, John Hastings, Peter Forrest. Like I played all my juniors with them as well. So.
I'll put this podcast up on YouTube, and you're going to send through a picture of those guys. That you're
I've got a couple that I was with.
Yeah. How do you feel now, looking back on that time, and like you showed me the photo before, sitting there with those guys, knowing where they've gone to and where you are now? How does that sit with you?
I think I'm not sure about other sports, but I think cricket in general, you've got to be spotted at a younger age. And for me, I was at my peak at say about 18, 19. These people have been good since 14. So same as footy, I guess. Like if they'll spot you early.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I did as much as I could in the time that I had available. And but just to watch them go on and see, I'm still a fan and watch it all the time, and no, it's just great.
So you're at peace with that?
Oh, definitely.
Awesome.
Like I don't think if I had more desire and, you know, there wasn't things called parties and girls and whatever, like it may have been different, but couldn't have done more.
Great, that's a great answer. And you probably got a lot of conflicting things happening there at 18. You know, you've either got to commit 100% into your sport and the desire to go to that next level, but then you've got party and girls and mates and right at that age where everything's just going nuts.
At that point, cricket or anything else became second nature to. It was the backseat compared to, you know.
You mentioned you went over to England?
Yeah, so when I was...
for cricket?
Yeah. So basically
how did that come about?
A friend of mine from the cricket club, his grandfather worked for a travel agency, and he knows a lot of people over in England. So he would go and find clubs and say, all right, we're after an opening batter, we're after an opening bowler, etc., etc. So a club came back and said, we're after an opening bowler. So basically what they did was he teed me up, so I just had to buy the flight through his company, and then from there I got free accommodation, free food, free grog, free everything over there, living there, and they just sort of gave me a job 1-2 days a week or whatever, doing painting or whatever, and apart from that, and then once I went so well, they paid my airfare, so
wow.
It was, the standard wasn't as good as it is here. So at that point, I was just playing second grade for Hawkesbury, but over there you were like a superstar.
Yeah,
so,
wow.
But you still played against like people who were in like county cricket and stuff like that. So I remember my first trial game there was against Nasser Hussein's brother, and I think I got him out second ball bowling over there. So I was like, wow, okay.
That's awesome, man. What an experience.
Yeah.
So how long were you there for?
So I was there for 6 months.
Yeah.
So it was April to September, October, roughly, I think. So I was, I had my 20th birthday there, so I must have been just 19.
Would you recommend other kids go and do that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Best time of your life, yeah. Like, for me personally, I didn't know any different. Like, I'd lived at North Richmond my whole life, and with my parents, and you go over there, you got no one. I didn't know a single person in the country. Now I can ring any single person over, 50 people over there, and say, I'm coming, can I stay a week? Yeah, that's fine, chop.
That's awesome, eh?
And I've been back previous times after for weddings and people's birthdays 2 or 3 times. So
you've been there a couple of times?
Yeah, probably 3, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and every single one was to play cricket?
No, only the first one.
Okay.
So basically what happened when I came back, I played another season, and at the end of that season, done my shoulder. I was diving for a ball, and it's the whatever it is here, the bone there was about there, almost through my skin. And
Jesus.
so I went to the hospital, and they popped it back in for me. And I know that was out for about, I couldn't play for say 6 weeks or so. Yep. And then I think it was maybe 2 games left in the season. I started bowling and I did the other one.
You're joking.
So basically, both were done and never played ever again. I've played indoor cricket since, just with my mates, like who don't take it seriously, and like I don't take it seriously if I'm playing with them. So, but apart from that, that was the end of the career.
Yeah, wow, it's amazing how. And once, as a fast bowler in cricket, once you do your shoulders,
and I've never had any operation or nothing. I probably should, because occasionally when I sleep, it pops out again.
Definitely.
And when was the other one? Probably 2 months ago. I'd had a few beers and it was really wet out, and I said I'll ride my skateboard to the pub, and it was really wet, and I was going too quick, and I went over the hangs of the skateboard, and then I'm running like this and my arms in the air like that, and it popped out again, and I'm on the front of this person's lawn. They were out the front, and I'm there going and then eventually it popped back in, and I was sitting there going like you get that inside, pop the shoulder, you get that breath into you, and I was like, oh my god, this feels amazing. And then I went and had about 10 skinners.
Wow. And everything felt better.
Basically.
Do you have any good stories that people might not know from your time in England?
Yeah, probably can't say it. I
Okay.
know there's definitely one. I'm pretty sure if we talked about it, you'd cut it. But
we'll talk about that another time.
Yes.
That'll be a different podcast.
Yes.
Did you play any other sport after that with your shoulders?
Nah. So basically, it was just indoor cricket for just filling in a few times for a mate.
Yeah.
But since then, coming to the gym was the first thing.
Yeah.
Since, so that was a 10-year hiatus of doing anything.
Yeah. Have you thought about getting back into cricket at all? Coaching?
I coached as well.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
From how would I have been then? Probably about, so maybe after I stopped playing, I also coached the rep side down here for Hawkesbury. So it was like an under 16s Green Shield side. I coached that side for a year, and
awesome.
There was one of my friends, their little brother. I coached them from year 12 years to 16 years as just their rep side as well for Hawkesbury.
Yeah. Do you enjoy that side of cricket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's like I come in here and I don't know anything, but like if it was cricket, like I'd feel confident enough to say, this is what you're doing, you're not moving your foot enough, or like I'm trying to explain it to my young fella at the moment. It's like, this is the direction and this is where you're letting it go from, like sort of thing. And
yeah.
And I know exactly how to display it and show it.
Yeah, just really break down those elements and
Yep.
step by step, practice those skills and give him little drills to work on.
I'm very, very, I don't know, some parents just sit there and do nothing or sit on their phones, and I'm very outdoors, and I sit there, especially with my youngest Chad, and we'll throw the ball out the front, and I guess I am very hard on him, but so if the ball doesn't go to me, he goes next door to get it if it's not straight to me.
Yeah.
And he runs across the bindies. Guess what? The next 10 go straight to me.
100%. There's only one way to learn,
That's
isn't it?
it.
Stop walking across the bindi. Yeah, that's good. Actually, funny you should say that. I from time to time, I'll take my nephews to jiu-jitsu, and it's amazing. Like, there's 20 kids in a class, and there'll be, a dozen parents sitting off to the side, and all of them are just staring into their phone. And it's like, oh no, they're your kids, and you probably get tired of them and see them all the time, but I can see them looking up to see if the parent's watching, and they're all just looking into the phone. I just think it's a bit sad sometimes.
I go through stages where I'll have no social media at all for a month or whatever.
Yeah.
I've currently got everything, but there's points where one day I'm on and then I'm off for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Just so I can, if I'm just clear my head and
just be present again in life. That just helps with that, and aligning yourself with what's actually going on right there in that moment.
Yep.
And the kids love your attention. They need your attention, and so it's something sad that I see every now and then. So family, you got kids?
Yeah, 2 kids. So Caitlin is 10, turning 11 in October.
Yep.
Grand final weekend every year. So funny enough that
double celebration.
So her first birthday, we didn't actually go to it because the Dragons were playing in the grand final. So me and my old man went there instead. So I missed her first birthday. Sorry, Caitlin.
She'll forgive you, I'm sure, one day.
Well,
one day when she's in her 50s.
She realises that Dragons wins don't come around as very often anymore. So and
we'll get to that. Don't worry.
And Chad is 8 in May and 9 in May. So
okay, that's awesome. What have you loved most about being a dad?
Every day is something different. There's whether it's responsibilities or emotions or working to get to something, and I've got them full time as well. So it's very tough, but also very enjoyable at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. How long have you had them full time?
Since Chad was 3 months old. So what's that? Yeah, 8 or 9 years.
Wow.
So it's I've got a great support network with my mother and father or whatever, and my sister as well. But for that whole time, it's just been me. So
how have you? If you don't mind
asking, no, it's fine.
How's that? How have you coped with that? And can I ask what happened?
Yeah. Basically, I met a girl and she was pregnant after a month. And I'm a really, really good judge of people.
Yeah.
and for some reason I was thinking somewhere else instead of my head, I think. And yeah, apart from that, I'm really, really good with people. But from there, it's been tough, definitely. And yeah, a lot of things go on in your head, and when people go and have a drink or whatever on a Thursday, Friday, whatever, and for me, the party just never stopped after that. I just went down a rabbit hole, but finally sorted my stuff out after a long time. But it played on my mind for a long time, and wasn't until recently, talking to an old friend that I've rekindled with just as friends now, and she just helped me through just talking about it and self-reflection and forgiveness. And I don't think you could ever move on unless you're forgiven it. And I'm at peace with it now. So
their mum?
She's seen them twice in the last 6 months or so.
Okay.
Bit all over the shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can imagine that would be difficult, and having, how do you feel about your parents and your sister, that they've been there for you?
Yeah, definitely. Like even the kids, like I still remember Caitlin saying, I want a mummy, or, she's only in kindergarten or something, and obviously I was too busy trying to sort them out instead of sorting myself out and sorting a partner out. But yeah, my mum, my dad, my sister, even friends have just been absolutely amazing. Like, mum helps out everywhere, and whether it's school trips or she's involved with the P&C and stuff at the school, because I don't know, I guess dads don't do that sort of stuff, I guess. Stereotypically. But
yeah, stereotypically. But I think it's awesome that you do, man.
Yep. But they've done, I couldn't thank them enough, and definitely. And even my friends, sometimes one of my mates will come over and take Chad out the front and kick the ball with him, or do you want to go to the skate park or whatever, and give me time to do whatever I have to do. But
that's been good for you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But my kids are I think they're more grown up as well, just because maybe they haven't had that mother figure. So I've not been hard, but very, and like letting them be themselves, but they can look after themselves, definitely.
Yeah. What has been the most challenging thing for you? Has there been a time in the last 10 years that was you could narrow down to a month or 6 months or a year that?
I think the initial time, just worrying, and so there was a lot of times that I was basically stuck and just worried about my children, saying, how am I going to get out of this without not being with them? And then eventually a situation came about where I could take that, and luckily enough for me, when I've just heard of other people and shocking stories of custodies and everything like that, she signed them over to me. So that was 1 month after it all happened. I don't have to deal with head noise for a month when other people, have gone through years and years and are still going,
and a lot of money and
definitely.
Courts and Do you see life differently since going through this than say if you look at some of your friends that have got things pretty easy?
Yeah, definitely. Not until recently though. So when I've definitely tried to better myself as a person, as a father, as a friend, everything. I've definitely tried. I think with the self-reflection and everything of what I've went through, that nothing can stop me now. I can do anything I want. So and if I got out alive, and I definitely, it's definitely been challenging, but it's been rewarding at the same time, because I've realised what I've had to get through and I've got there.
Yeah, I think anyone that's listening that, put yourself in the position of raising 2 kids on your own, how difficult that could be. Like, some people find it difficult with having the so-called perfect setup.
Yep.
So, mate...
sometimes I can't even look after myself, let alone 2 children, but I'm here, I wake up every morning smiling, I'm alive, I'm breathing air, I'm happy,
It's friggin' awesome, man. I see, like I haven't known you that long, but since that you've been here in the gym, but every single moment that I've seen you, you've looked determined, there's no fuss, you just get down to business, you just do what needs to be done. Man, and I can see how, those kids are so lucky to have you.
Yep.
And from what everyone says to me about you, man, you're an inspiration to quite a few people, and you might not know that, but everyone speaks so very highly of you for what you have done. So, mate, we all go through struggles and tough times, but that's what makes us the people that we are.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you get inspiration from anywhere or motivation from anywhere these days? Do you courses, books, anyone you follow or your family?
Well, I guess the one thing that I was motivated by to better myself, it's a documentary on YouTube. There's a guy called Brandon Novak. He's one of the Jackass guys.
Yeah.
And it's just his struggle with addiction. And watching that, I still remember this as clear as day as the other days that I just broke down in tears, and I occasionally go back to that and just watch it and just think, wow, like he's amazing, like what he's done. I'd highly recommend it. Anyone who wanted to watch it definitely.
Yeah. How old is that doco?
It's about 2 years, I think.
Okay.
I think, but when I watched it was about a year ago.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll put up a link
Yep.
on the YouTube vid as well.
Yep.
Do you mind me asking did you have an addiction?
Oh, if anything, it was just alcohol basically. Yeah. But I just get to a point where I can't stop at one, so I know now that I've got to have a balance. And that's pretty much what my thank you to you guys was all about. Just I've found that balance now where previously I didn't have it before.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yep.
Do you still have a drink now?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But it's just that balance. You know when you can.
I know
stop.
I can't have 10 beers on a Monday. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When previously I was. So and now it's I still drink 3 days a week, whatever.
Yeah.
But like I know that if I don't have to, I don't have to.
Yeah.
I'm in control of it. So it's
That's awesome, man. Do you get any other pieces of inspiration anywhere, motivation?
I watch the Goggins stuff a little bit.
He's an animal, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Dave Goggins. Yeah.
And especially like when he was the size he was, and I can sort of relate to it a little bit with the weight loss that I've done. And I don't think I was as driven as he was, but I'm putting myself in the position to get to where I want to get to.
Yeah.
Each day by day, I'll get there.
Mate, good insight into what you've been through. So just so people can get an idea, you've been at Arete now for about 12 months?
23rd of July 2019 was my first day here.
Can you tell us about that day?
Absolute G up. Absolute stitch up.
Okay, so I'll
do the lead up.
Yeah.
Okay, so my friend is very good friends with James Tarmo at Penrith. So
okay, I'll stop. How much do you weigh at this stage?
126 kilo.
Right. How are you feeling?
Oh, every day's a party for me. So like it's I guess in my head I think I'm good, but I'm really not. And mentally, physically, I'm compared to what I feel like now. Yep. Rubbish.
Yep. Okay. So. James Talma.
Yeah, we got into the family section there. So it was me, my other friend Jesse, and Guy Carter from the gym here. Mm-hmm. So we were on the booze all night for free, and then the Dragons lost by about 40. So we just left and went back to my house, and then he started, Guy got home and he goes, oh, you got to watch this on YouTube. And we just started watching CrossFit videos till 4 in the morning.
That sounds like GC.
I know, and my other mate's looking at me sort of sideways going, is he for real or what?
And what are you thinking and watching them?
Oh, I was sort of thinking the same thing, to be honest. Like, I was there going, oh, it's all right, but I didn't get it at that point, so I was just like, well, it just looks like blokes doing PE, mate.
Yeah. When are you going home, GC?
Oh, it wasn't later after that, then the Uber got called.
So then, so he kept badgering you to come to
so that was on the Saturday.
Yep.
The 19th, and then I said I'll be there Monday, and then I don't know, I think I dogged Monday, and then he goes, oh, come Tuesday. So I don't know. And I don't know, people who know Guy, unless if you say something, and he'll hound you and hound you and hound you until you're going to do it. So, and it was my mum's birthday too, so that's why I remember the date, 23rd of July, really well. And I got in here. I still remember what I was wearing. I was wearing a green shirt, dragon pants, and I was in the corner at the far front left. And I must have made an impression because I think everyone else, like the coaches here, also remember that exact day as well, and exactly where I was in the room. And
I've got a photo of you watching the instruction at the whiteboard.
Yep.
So I'll put that up as well. Wow.
Yeah, and it was wall balls, burpees, and I can't remember, it was like 60, or maybe it was like 190, 80 or something.
60 cows, 60 burpees, 60 wall balls, 60 sit-ups, 60 push-ups, and there was one other movement. But it was a guy sent me the workout because he's remembered it as well.
Right. Well, at that point I could do one burpee unbroken. I reckon I could pull out 3 push-ups max, and that's me gassed.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that happened, and then...
Did that hurt, that session?
Yeah. And
probably mentally as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then I got home and I put myself in an Epsom salt bath. I'm telling you right now, it didn't help.
Oh my God.
When you weigh the size of a house and you've got to do those movements which you haven't done in 10 years, I had to have the next 3 days off work. So that was on a Tuesday, 23rd of July on a Tuesday. I had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off because I couldn't walk.
Wow.
And then eventually Saturday, my body got back to normal.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you kept coming, didn't you?
Yeah. So So I had the day off work for the next day, but I still came and did the weightlifting class on the Wednesday or Thursday afternoon, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I wasn't like waddish, but like it was more technique and stuff. I was just with a broomstick with Josh Wu going this, so I could sort of get away with walking like something's happened to me.
Yeah, yeah. What were you thinking at that time? Is this something I'm going to stick with, or did you know that I'm going to stick with this, or was it, I'm not sure about this?
Yeah, I was unsure. I felt a bit overwhelmed because that's when other people come into CrossFit. I can understand if they are overwhelmed by it and everything, or I'm going to wait to get fit first, then start to do it, or whatever. I can understand where they're coming from, but I just did it straight up, and each day I got better and better, and like even just today I did my first ever RX properly in the time cap, so I'm definitely getting better.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, so...
Because it's not an easy one today either. Wall balls and cows.
Yeah, well, they're 2 things I can actually do quite well.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, that's how far you've come in 12 months is an inspiration. But that's an important thing. So we get a lot of people inquiring or saying, I'd love to do CrossFit, but I'm going to wait until I'm fit, or I'm going to wait until I'm stronger, not realising that that's how you become it is by doing CrossFit. Yep. Do you have any info for them or something to say to them that just started, or?
Yeah, why not? You know, and if you're ever worried about it and want to come in, I'll stand next to you. I'll talk to you the whole time, and because I know that I've done it.
Yep.
And if I can do it, anyone can do it. So, you know.
Absolutely. How much weight have you lost?
21 kilos. So I'm about 105 now.
Congrats, man.
Still not at that goal, but...
What is the goal?
I don't know now, because I had a goal of 100 or 99.9.
Yeah.
But then after speaking to John, he always tells me, do not look at the scale.
Yeah.
Judge it by your clothing, judge it by your pants, you know, don't, because that's all I'm not sure if that is the goal still anymore, but as long as I'm coming and getting fit and doing what I'm doing and keeping my headspace clean, can't ask for much more.
100%.
Whether a number on a scale ain't going to change if I'm feeling good.
Yeah, you've got to go by feel. You can run into some trouble when you start chasing numbers. And things can get a little bit unhealthy in doing that. But if you are going by how the training makes you feel physically and mentally, you can't ever go wrong.
Yeah, I guess when I first came, I was very, I'm not as good as those people. But now I've just got it in my head that I know why I'm here, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I know GC is going to do something so 5 times better than me. Aaron Hadfield's I'm never going to run like Aaron Hadfield. You know, but I'm here for my personal goal.
Yep.
And that's it.
Mate, if everyone had that attitude,
yep,
that everyone would be thriving.
Yep.
I think that's a big problem when people start comparing themselves to other people.
Yep.
And they start saying, well, they're really good at that, I'm shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they start to feel bad about themselves. But if everyone just stuck to their lane and, you know, just focused on themselves.
I don't care if I don't finish the water or don't do anything. As long as 100%. I've given 100% to what I've getting there, who cares?
Yeah. Do you have any goals CrossFit wise? Like, is there a movement or some workouts that you want to?
Yeah, definitely bar work. I know I definitely need.
Barbell?
Yeah. No.
Or you mean bar work because in pull-ups?
Like, pull-ups and stuff like that. Well, I was watching YouTube videos on it yesterday, trying to get myself better. So I might come in one day a week and just try and, you know, in an afternoon and try and do something with it. I'm not too bad at like the assault bike, and that was like my other thing.
The assault bike.
I like it. I really do. And from when I was still a bigger guy, and I always remember GC came and told me, he goes, everyone in here hates burpees. Everyone in here hates the assault bike. You know what? I love the assault bike. I love burpees. I'm already one step ahead of all these people who have that in their head. Absolutely. So that really stuck with me, and I don't mind it at all. Yeah,
mate, I have to agree. I love wall balls, and I love the assault bike and cows. I love burpees. So you do have to change the way that you think about those things. Yeah. And it's amazing how different they are for you when you are not worrying about before you even hopped on the assault bike.
Yeah.
Incredible. What do you love most about CrossFit?
Probably like the team environment and the coaching and everything about it, to be honest. And how someone who's just regular like me can have just as much impact in their life as someone who's really, really good at it. Like, I'm never going to be as good as these people, but as long as I'm giving my all, and it's going to be great. And 100%. It's just everything about it. Just people always, I don't know, whenever I'm talking to someone who hasn't been in the CrossFit community, they're very, like that or whatever. But it's like, you can't stop talking about it, really, to be honest. I don't know, and then
because of the way it makes you feel.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. How did you go during COVID time? So I think for a lot of people, so the 23rd of March, gyms are closing, and we don't know when they're going to reopen. Did you find, what were you thinking at that time? So you basically had to go to body weight workouts, or visit someone at their home, had to just train at home, like there was no gym for someone that was on a roll. So you're probably 6 months into your journey then. How did that mentally and physically affect you, if at all?
I continued to train initially and then stopped for a while. I started coming back, started doing it fitness again 1st of June. I started back again because I just went on this hiatus for a long time, and I also hurt myself. I hurt my neck during for like a 3-week period, so it wasn't hurting me that much, but mentally it didn't faze me at all, because I know that
you already had those habits in your mind.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's good. How's your nutrition been? Has that been a huge difference for you? So going back 12 months, so before you started here, what was your nutrition like compared to now?
I've only just realised that in the last 2 months how much it actually does matter. So basically, when I first came here, all the way through to the COVID, I was still eating crap. I was still drinking a lot, and then the 1st of June, when I started up again, put myself on this strict routine now. I've never felt better. I know that it works, definitely. And I've never had it in my life. I've never had nutrition or thought of nutrition in my life, but then I just got on this little thing that I'm doing at the moment. And this drink in the morning, it's great.
Yeah. So what does a crap diet look like for you, and what does it look like today?
So basically, it would have any fast food or whatever, chips, crap. Now I'm just in the mornings I'll have this shake with water and celery and greens powder, and oh, it makes me laugh having to, 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm now drinking greens powder.
You've changed.
And I'll be sipping lattes next. Good on you. For lunch, I always have a steak with veggies.
Yep.
And then afternoon tea, I always have chicken. And then I'm not privileged enough to order anything for dinner, so it's whatever my sister's cooking for dinner, which is normally pretty good, because she's on like a little bit of a roll too at the moment.
Is she?
Yep.
Is she inspired by you?
Jeez, I don't know. I'll have to ask her when we get home.
Nutrition makes such a difference. Really, at the end of the day, it is, we treat food like an amusement park, but it's just fuel for your body. So your performance in life and here in the gym, it's affected by whatever fuel you put in your body. So the next 12 months, if you're starting to eat well, you'll notice your performance in the gym.
I've noticed it already dramatically. I'm not as tired, I'm not as just dead set on it. And
your body's probably getting the nutrients that it needs now.
Yep.
How is your sleep?
Not as good as it should be, I guess.
Is that something that you want to work on or try and work on, or is life
I think previously I had this thing in my head that unless I drank grog, I couldn't go to sleep.
Yeah, right.
But when I had a full month off grog, June, I've never slept better in my life. In like the first week was hell, but like the next 3 weeks, I've never slept better in my life. So I guess it definitely does work.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit, sometimes good, sometimes bad, but I go to bed thinking about stuff too, and like overthink things, and I've been through a few mental things in the last couple of months which held me up, but like now I'm like switched on.
Yeah. Do you find when you go through those times, are you able to get out of those mentally pretty quickly, or is it stuff that sort of you overthink things, or you? Normally
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, good.
Normally nothing phases me.
Yeah.
And like even if I wasn't in there in my head, my body language shows otherwise, I guess, which probably is a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
But nothing really. The only thing I didn't do, I forgot to die, so I'm happy I'm here,
Yeah.
So
I think we forget that too, that we're alive.
Definitely.
And every day you have an opportunity to change or to improve your physical, mental state. You don't have to wait till Monday, you can start today.
Yep.
Whereabouts have you worked? What was your first ever job?
My first ever job was working for Out West Furniture at Richmond here, across from the club.
Oh yeah.
My friend's old man.
No longer there.
No. Yeah. So he's moved up the coast, but my friend's father owned it. So basically what we did was loaded the truck and went and delivered the furniture. So there was an older guy than me and then me, so I always had to walk in backwards. So it was a massive G up, but walking upstairs with like these huge like lounges or whatever, And, but it was good though. It was
I'll edit that now. How old were you then, sorry?
I was in school, so probably 16.
Yeah, okay.
So.
How long did you do that for?
Probably 2 years.
Yeah.
Staying till 18.
Yeah. Any funny stories from there? What was the guy like to work with?
Oh, so it wasn't, the boss was fine, he was my friend's dad, but the other bloke who was making me go up the stairs backwards and stuff, he was a bit egg-armed, but I haven't seen him in years, but I still remember where he lives and his name and...
Leave it at that.
Yeah.
Little fun fact, when we were looking for a site for Arete, Chris Waits contacted him looking for places to, set up a CrossFit gym, and he said, there's a furniture shop just around the corner from my shop next to Dan Murphy's. He goes, let's just go and have a look and see if that would be suitable. And we went and had a look, and you could see there was a bit of space in there and you could make it work, and it was right in the middle of town, but
it's a lot longer than it looks.
It is a lot longer.
From the outside.
Absolutely. So like when standing in there, taking all the furniture out, you could see how it could work. But I'm glad we didn't go in there. But that was the very first place that we looked at to put Arete into.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So where'd you work after that, or why did you leave?
Just because of
had enough
time to get a proper job. So after that,
time to start paying tax.
That's it. Windsor Golf Club.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I was
What'd you do there?
behind the bar there. So I was probably there for, I want to say 2 years probably as well.
Yep.
So I just did bar work then, while still working at the furniture shop. So that would have been around the same time.
How did the staffies go?
Yeah, you're allowed one staffy after work.
Yeah.
They were alright, I guess. Like there were a lot of older people I was working with, so
Yeah. Mate, I worked at Guildford Bowling Club for a little while, and the staffies would be, 11 o'clock at night. You'd allowed one, so we'd have one, but then we would go from there to Guildford Hotel.
Yeah.
Mate, there was so many times I was getting home at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Like the staffies, they can lead you down a rabbit hole. That's
Definitely.
for sure. Any of those nights?
Oh, at the next workplace, definitely.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So where'd you move on to next?
So basically a person who went to the golf club, said, I work at the Richmond club, and he was high up, just one of the senior managers there, and said, should come over here and see if you get a job. And normally it takes you 2 weeks to get back to you or something. And I went in, I think it was a Tuesday morning or something. By Tuesday afternoon I had a job.
Wow.
So I must have made an impression.
Yeah. So you've been at the Richmond club ever since?
I work for the Richmond Club group now. So basically from there I did bar work and poker machine work and everything like that for probably 3 years. And then I was the manager there for another 3 years. And then I was doing manager work and seller work and beverage, everything to do with beverage. So everything from ordering to invoicing to beer line cleaning, stuff like that, and maintenance as well at the same time. And then from there, things just got a bit slower. I started doing working at the nursing home that we own now.
Okay. So are you mainly now at the nursing home or between the two?
I'm between the two sites. So
yeah.
basically I was at the nursing home the whole time, but a couple of things happened and now I'm back running the cellar and doing all the invoicing and stuff, which is normally just the 1 day of the week. I'll get everything ready for the week on a Monday. The rest of the time I'll go and help every morning at the club, but apart from that I'm at the nursing home the rest of the time.
Yeah, okay. Have you enjoyed your time working with the Richmond Club?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's especially in my situation, like with the kids, and my boss has just been fantastic and always understanding, and yeah, she's like my biggest fan too.
It's when you have that flexibility and you have people in your team that understand and have empathy and try and want to help you. I mean, it's so powerful. Like, you don't have that in a lot of jobs.
And I guess I repay that with my work ethic there too. She's always said, I wish I had 20 of you, Yeah. So, and which is good to hear.
And that would make you feel good.
Definitely.
And give you, a self-worth and some value.
Yeah.
Do you have any aspirations for work? As far as, like, where would you like to see yourself in another few years, 10 years?
I'm not sure, because it all just sort of, I just was working originally, then the kid thing happened. I never really had a chance to think about it.
Not looking too far ahead?
No, well, in both industry, like in the club industry, I know every area. So if I ever wanted to pursue something, I could, but I'm quite comfortable where I am. And working at the nursing home now, I'm highly learning everything about facility management, and that could lead to something in the future, I guess. But 7 minutes home, 7 minutes to work with lunch, it's pretty good. With a
great boss.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. I don't know if you can speak about it, but what's happening with the motel?
I'm not too sure, to be honest.
Yeah, because that would be a huge opportunity too for the Richmond group and anyone employed there. Surely that would be a...
Yeah.
Well, actually, the Richmond Club are just going to have an affiliation with it because it's owned by someone else. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Last thing I knew, it was going through council or something, and we were just waiting on everything to go through. And then I think once it sort of goes through, then it's starting.
Yeah. So what I'm talking about is there's a motel plan so there's 2 bowling greens that they're going to get rid of and build a motel on those greens. Yeah. So. But I think it's a private consortium that's building that and going to run it, but it's going to have some affiliation with the Richmond Club.
Yeah.
That's all. I could be wrong, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What, with this COVID time, How do you feel about being in a nursing home? Are you taking any extra precautions? Are you in contact with the residents?
Yeah, every day in contact with the residents, but as we go into the building, we have to be temperature checked. We get asked a series of questions, just like, have you been near this area, blah, blah, blah. Like, we're just covering ourselves to make sure that we've got all the precautions in place and government regulations that we're abiding by. That, I guess, working there already, you've got to be careful no matter what, whether COVID's here or not. We've got to dot our I's and cross our T's. So basically, that was one of the main reasons I got asked to go over and work over there, because basically there was a Quakers Hill fire not long ago, probably like a couple of years ago, whatever. And since then, everything is by the book, nursing home wise. So a lot of the stuff I do is a lot of back of house paperwork and making sure that we're doing everything as the best we possibly can.
Yeah. It's a shame that it took, so my brother's a fiery, and he was at Schofields at that time when that fire happened. And it's a shame that it took that situation to, I guess, highlight the shortfall of the systems in place at the nursing home and also the fire brigade, and how their response time to that and how they dealt with that. Well, it's good to hear from you that from that has come better things.
Definitely.
I think that's with what's going on in Victoria at the moment is there seems to be a lack of quality systems in the aged care in Victoria, which it seems to be a lot better here in New South Wales. So any outbreak, we probably could be manage it better than what they are in Victoria. Has being in the nursing home given you a different perspective on life? Or
Definitely.
How so?
I just realise how short it is, like seeing one person one day and then they're not here the next, and because I've never had to really deal with loss, but like you get attached to people as well, and like by name, and always ask them like, hey John, how's the Roosters going, mate? Like, and and it's definitely eye-opening, but it's I love it.
Yeah, it's good. I think everyone should spend a bit of time in a nursing home to appreciate what life really is.
Definitely.
And that we all do get old. It's an eye-opener. Speaking of the Dragons, Roosters, Dragons, you're a footy tragic.
Yes.
And you support the Dragons.
Yes.
You poor bastard.
Yes.
So where did that start?
My father. He gave me two options. You can sleep inside or you can sleep out. So I didn't want to sleep outside, so I just thought I'd just deal with 34 years of pain instead. Probably should have just stayed outside and,
Wow.
Pick someone else.
So he's led you down the path of the Dragons.
Correct.
And now you've got the kids involved.
Yes, so they got the same option. No, I'm joking. Whenever like Chad's angry at me, he goes, I'm going for the Sharks. No, you're not.
You're sleeping outside.
Yeah.
What is it about the Dragons you love?
I guess there's everything, just the history of it, and when I was younger, the people coming through, and there was a lot of local from more the Illawarra side as well of it. A lot of local juniors and everyone coming through, and my two favourite players ever. A bit weird. A lot of people say Andrew Johns and stuff.
I was going to say, who are your three top players for St George?
Number one, Dean Young.
Yeah.
Ever.
Ever. Why?
Hard on sleeve.
Yeah.
You just watch it after the 2010 grand final, he was just in tears, and you just tell he wanted it so bad, and he had that staph infection in 2005 or whatever, and just to get there, and he just seemed like he'd do anything for anyone.
Yeah. Do you know if he's still on the coaching staff?
Yeah, he is. So if this whole thing goes through next week, he might be the coach, who knows.
So what's your thoughts on Mary McGregor?
I think he's a great clubman and not a coach. So I think we've tried to portray him as the coach, but he's just a great clubman. Yeah.
Would you like to see Dean Young replace him, or who would you ideally want to replace him? Do you and first of all, do you reckon he's gone next Tuesday? They reckon there's a board meeting to say your time.
I reckon he's gone.
And who would you like to see replace him?
Well, think Flanagan can't be till next year. So obviously it was just going to be someone to fill in the last, 10 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see whether he's the problem or not, because I don't know if he is the problem, because I think at the moment there's attitude with it. Same was like when Wayne Bennett left and Steve Price came in.
Yep.
I don't think he was the problem, to be honest. Like, I think there was just more attitude and stuff going on that, like, and
yeah.
But it was time will tell, I guess. And then because the Dragon supporters are very psycho, I guess, and I'm one of them.
They're very passionate.
Yep. Compared to a lot of other clubs, definitely. They'll let you know if you're going shit.
Send me that video of your place.
Yep.
So you showed me a video before. So up the stairs, there's picture frames all the way along the wall, throughout your house, everything.
I have
cushions, doona covers, dragons everywhere. It's red and white.
I think I have every Dragons card up to from 1974 to present.
Jesus Christ.
A lot of money in it, definitely.
Have you ever valued that?
I did like a quick one, like just of random stuff I got, and it was about 10,000.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, but the cards alone, like I've got some ones that I've paid a lot.
What's your favourite card? Do you have one?
Mark Gasnier, Future Force. So basically, it's people in their first year of grade.
Yep.
And they think they're going to be like good in the future. Mm-hmm. So, and yeah.
Wow. Do you remember what year he debuted?
I think it was 2001 or 2002, 2003. One of those.
He had a pretty short career, didn't he? Considering what his talent was.
Well, 2003 to 2007. Then he went to Catalans and then back to...
Do you think he's troubled in the head?
I think he wasn't getting money. That was the whole thing.
Yeah,
that he got promised all these third parties and didn't come through. See you later.
Yeah, right. Would you like to see Flanagan coach?
Yeah, why not? I think he's tough.
Yeah.
And he won't put up with it. So who knows how much of a voice he currently does have there.
Yeah.
But looking at the Sharks side of it, when he was for the Sharks, he looked like he was a tough coach.
Yes. And I think from a lot of the reports coming out is that since he has been taking over the attack of the Dragon side, the players have responded to that, given them a little bit more confidence, like Duffy back and, because he was in and out, they were saying you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong.
Yep.
Confidence was down, he was in the side, out of the side. But I think they've given him a fair crack now, and I think he's playing better football.
Definitely. I think every pre-season as well, he gets that little bit bigger. So 2 years ago when he debuted, he was just a rag doll.
Yes.
Then he came back, he was 5 kilos heavier. Then he came back, he was another 5 kilos heavier. But maybe start of next year or the year after, he might get even better.
Yeah. I think Shane Flanagan's trying to get an exemption too, to come back early.
Yep. Maybe this was the plan the whole time, but
maybe
they knew ahead that we're going to go crap anyway. We've got to get him on board.
How do you feel about Jack DeBellin? What's happening there?
Well, on my Facebook, you can have like a little comment underneath your profile picture.
Yeah.
My comment says #FreeJack.
Free Jack.
Yep. Innocent till proven guilty.
Yeah.
Even if he has done it, you don't see the local butcher not having to play for footy, but I guess it's hard because there's other people with the other people involved as well. They've got but it shouldn't have to take someone who's high profile to be the benchmark of it. It should be the same as the local butcher. It should be
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the world we live in with role models and everything, I guess a line has to be drawn. But compared to some of the other stuff other NRL players have done as well, and they've just got them, not even a fine or nothing. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought there was like an agenda against the Dragons, sort of like when everyone plays Parramatta at Bankwest Stadium.
Yep. Every
time, because they're by a bank, they're allowed. It's like they have a certain amount they have to win. I hate Para. That's why I'm just saying that. Hi Justin. Hi Jesse.
Where does the hatred of Para come from?
Well, I'm a grandfather. He just constantly goes on about it non-stop.
Really?
Yeah.
Brainwashed you?
Well, the last time they won was the year I was born, 1986.
Yeah.
So I always even if we're going crap or whatever, I was always say to me mates I've seen one. And this is the other thing too, that if they win it this year, it's going to have an asterisk next to it because the comp's been...
The COVID asterisk?
Yeah, it's an asterisk. So that's what I call my mate now, who goes to Asterix.
Asterix.
And his brother's like a really big unit with like a shaved head, so I call him obliques. So it's asterisk and obliques.
Love it.
Yeah.
What do you think they'll win the comp?
No.
Who do you think's going to win?
Hard to go past the Roosters again, I think. If everyone is fit.
Have you seen the inclusions back in this week?
Yeah, like 6 or 7, isn't it?
Far out.
Yeah.
Like star-studded.
Even when they weren't playing last week, the rest of the side didn't look too bad. Well, they beat us, but the rest of the side didn't look too bad anyway.
Yeah, without those 6. Melbourne are paying $3.
Oh, right.
And Roosters are like $1.40. That's unbelievable.
I hope Penrith do. They're my second side. I've had to pick a second side, but I just think maybe they need that one more year or something to, they say you got to lose one before you win one, but
I think I said this on our league podcast that maybe Penrith one more year. They're clicking now.
Yep.
And I think to win a comp, you need to have that consistency of that click and that gelling of the team culture.
Yep.
For longer than a couple of weeks. I think I'd like to see that over one more year.
Yep.
If they can maintain what their side and the culture that they're building there next year, I reckon they'll be unbeatable.
Yep. And they've got to play in a few big games too.
Yes.
All those Roosters players have played 5 years.
Yeah.
They've all stuck together as well, So
100%, totally agree. So Dean Young's number 1. Who's your second and third favourite Dragons players of all time?
Oh, Mark Coyne.
Yeah.
Loved Mark Coyne.
The miracle try.
Yeah. Oh.
Are you a Queenslander?
No, New South Wales.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Nothing worse than those people who are born in New South Wales, raised in New South Wales, go to Queensland.
Ridiculous.
I've got 2 mates like that. It's a G up.
Yeah, they're no longer mates.
Yeah. Origin time anyway.
What'd you like about Mark Coyne?
Oh, how he could just spark something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was pretty elusive to look at, but he was hard to tackle. Good player.
I always loved Ricky Walford as well. He was so good, but in that era or whatever.
Yeah.
And then if I had to pick one more, a current player, Trent Merrin.
Trent Merrin.
Yep.
Wow.
Sort of the same as Dean Young.
Yeah.
Very much so. And because I've been to a lot of fan days and stuff, and he's great with people. Same with B. Mozzie was really good as well.
Yeah.
But you can just tell he's a natural person, and he's not big-headed or anything like that. It's like a lot of them are, some of them are.
Yeah.
And he just hard on sleeve as well.
Yeah. Do you go to the games?
Every game.
Fair income.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think me and my old man have been members for 10 years.
Has there been a player that you liked or looked to good player, good bloke, and you've seen him in person and they've disappointed you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does happen, hey.
Yeah. And he comes into my work sometimes too.
Fair income.
As a consultant. I've seen him there before.
All right. We'll let people guess who that is.
Yeah. BS.
Did you like watching Anthony Mundine play?
Definitely.
Yeah, he was Nathan Blacklock.
Yep. I've got my 3 favourite games of all time, and that number 1 was the 99 preliminary final.
Yes.
When he starts doing the backflips and the cowboy or whatever, and I have it saved on Foxtel, and whenever we're having a bad day, I'll just go turn that on.
That's your footy porn.
Oh, so good. Or the Blacklock try in the 99 grand final. That was really good too.
Yeah. I'd love to see him in a matchup race with Addo Carr.
Back in the day, definitely.
Yeah. St George had some cracking players. And so, that 2010 year, you could just see that they were unbeatable.
Yep. And I think it's all built on defence. Everything from that year on, everything has been built on defence, and we're only averaging 10 points a game or something like that, less than that.
As a diehard supporter, what do you think from 2010 to now? What do you think's gone wrong?
Wayne Bennett leaving, definitely to start with. And then from that, everything just spiralled with culture, and outside of football, then there's a board, and everything going on, and like it's and because of our club split into two, where we got Penrith or whatever, that's just the one sole conspirer, that things are going to go wrong. And I just feel now that with the recruitment side of it, just feels like anyone who's off contract, yeah, we're going for them.
Yeah.
Whether we don't need that person, or like
whether they're a good fit for the club or not, let's just get them.
Yeah. I suppose when Wayne was there, it definitely his presence brings people to the club as well.
Yep.
But so why do you want to go to a club that's based in Wollongong, where you don't know who the coach is going to be next year, or the system's in place or whatever, or
Yeah. What do you think about Tyson Frizzell leaving?
Yeah, definitely hurt big time.
Yeah.
Where we're going to, it's like this year with Leeson Armour.
Yeah.
Much as he was just a bench player for us, what he did, I can count on one hand in 5 years the amount of times he dropped the ball. He just hit it straight up or passed the ball. He did his job. And it's just, you just can't replace some people.
Yeah.
And even with anyone, or if we try to get someone from another club, it'd be hard. But
yeah. So he's left. What's concerning, what I see, is that he's left and not giving any opportunity for another coach. So in his mind, I'm not prepared to wait another year. Let's just say Shane Flanagan is going to be the coach the following year. He doesn't want to play for him long term, or I'm not prepared to see out McGregor.
Yep.
But even with if you can see that McGregor is going to be moved on, you would wait and see who the new coach is, but he's out. Which probably says a lot about their culture at the moment.
Yeah, and I think going to Newcastle as well, it looks like a lot more wins on the board than with us, I think. So I don't know if footy players even think about that, but when they're, be on a good wicket whether he stay with us or goes up there anyway. You know?
100%. Oh, Nathan Brown, he's come out and said, as head coach of the Warriors now, he's going to go after Jack DeBellin. Yeah,
right. That's like a kick in the teeth, eh? You can, we got to pay. You're getting paid still. You can train with us. You just can't play Saturdays. Whilst we've done the right thing. Oh, here you go. You can go away now.
Yeah.
Whether we have enough money or whatever to match whatever.
Surely he wouldn't go. Like after.
Well, who knows what's even going to happen anyway?
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. I can't. If a club stands by you in what he's been through and going through,
definitely.
Geez, it'd be hard to come back and say, yeah, I'm leaving now.
Yep. But at the same time, I could almost see him doing it with that club in particular, because he's over there.
Yeah.
He's not high profile like he is in Sydney, so he could walk down the street and be like a normal human being and resurrect himself again.
Yeah. Oh, mate, good luck with the Dragons for the rest of the year.
Jesus.
Do you reckon, are you any chance of making the 8?
Nah, don't think so now, because we're only on 8 points. So
Ouch.
We had 2 real close games we could have won, should have won. And
yes.
Earlier in the season, we were playing terrible. We had easy games, or not easy games, but games were winnable that we just didn't win.
That's when Mary was getting roasted.
And now we've just had Roosters. Now we've got Para. It's a job.
How do you handle the Para games?
Well, it's this Friday.
Yeah,
so,
we'll see.
I'm going to Thai Buffalo and then going to watch it with my friends at the pub, because they wanted me to go down to Bank West with them.
Yeah.
And I did it last year.
Yeah.
And we led 18-0 after 20 minutes. I'm going berserk. Corey Norman scored a length of field try, Duffy under the post. I'm going berserk. And we got done by 20.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so...
That's nightmare.
Yeah, so no matter what, it's an asterisk, and we'll probably get done, but
There's always hope.
Yep.
Besides England, have you travelled anywhere else?
Yeah, so I went, so my mother's from America.
Okay.
Yeah, so she moved here in 1969.
Whereabouts in America?
South Dakota.
Yeah, wow.
So basically where the Sturgis Rally is for the motorbikes, for Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
It's about 40 minutes away from there.
Okay.
Yeah, so and I went back there 2 or 3 times, going through like school and stuff like that, like family holidays.
Yep.
And then from there, I've been to Canada, Mexico, Amsterdam, France, Monaco, Italy, Germany, Austria. Yeah, roughly. I can't think of the rest. But
New
Zealand. Oh, actually, me and my old man went. Not last year, the year before. The Dragons were up 6-0 to start the season when Ben Hunt first came.
Yeah.
So me and my old man were like, well, let's just go. Let's get a ticket to New Zealand. So my sister's a travel agent. She booked us the ticket to New Zealand. So we got there. All we did was put our bags down, casino home, then went to the game, and it was our first loss. So I think
you jinxed them.
Yeah. And I had this other thing where if we win a certain amount of games in a row, I don't wash my towel at home.
Really?
I don't.
Until they lose.
Until they lose. So at that point, it was 6 weeks without washing. I have this Dragons towel that I'll go after the shower.
Yeah.
I refuse to wash it if we lose until we lose. So
how did that start?
Yeah, I don't know. Just like a jinxy sort of thing. And
I love it.
Yeah, like even things in place and stuff. I don't. Yeah.
You imagine they went the season undefeated.
Oh Jesus!
Mate, that'd be rank.
I'd have to go buy alternating towels, I think.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you have any other superstitions?
Not superstitions, but I'm very pedantic about cleanliness and OCDness and everything has a place, definitely.
I can tell in your video of your place, everything is particular where it is in place.
In high school, when my mates used to stay, we used to get on the Terps and I'd wake up in the morning and they'd move everything around in my bedroom. It was like they were testing me to say, do you remember where this goes? And so I had to get it and I'd put it all back. And
did you have OCD as a kid?
No,
Really?
I don't know what happened. I'm really bad with it now, to the point where...
Do you remember when it started?
Late teens.
Yeah.
My room used to just be a brothel. And then all of a sudden I just started cleaning it every day, my towel out every day, just weird little things. But now it's to a point I'm shocking. I know I'm shocking. But it was my mum and all that they just don't care at all. But if I walk past something and the shoe's not facing the right way, it has to face this way, or the two TV remotes, if they're not next to that side, I don't know, I get the shakes.
What happens to you when you see that?
Got to do it. Got to move it.
Yeah.
So when I get home, probably right now, when I get home this afternoon, and I'll just walk in and I'll just be like, Caitlin, I don't even have to say it. They know exactly what it is. So obviously something's out of place or whatever, and then they'll know they have to move it back in.
Yeah.
I'm not as bad with their rooms.
Yeah.
But if it's the common areas, it has to be perfect. I don't know.
I can tell from your memorabilia that you've got.
Yeah.
And just the cushions that were is it on the lounge?
Yeah. Even
how they're set
but they have to be like that. So if he's playing Xbox and I walk past and he's on the next lounge, those cushions, if he's moved them, they've got to be moved back before he can sit back down on that other lounge.
Jesus.
I don't know. I don't know what happened to me, but yeah.
Do you reckon you're going to be able to live with that for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I think so. Because my grandmother's like that.
Okay.
Her house is like Antiques Roadshow. So it's everything's just perfect and has a place. And I'm not clean. I don't care if there's dust or something like that. But place-wise, I'm like that. So and she's like that. And so if there's ever a mess in my other side of my house where my parents live, my grandmother says, "Oh, don't worry about it. They're not like us." I'm like, "Yeah, okay then."
They're not like us.
Yeah.
I love it. Do you have any other fears or phobias?
I don't really like snakes or spiders or stuff like that.
Yeah, they're assholes.
Nah, but snakes? I'm not scared of going on rides or anything like that. But I'm not scared of flying or anything like that. But I just don't. I was always scared of animals growing up as well. So we never had a dog or a cat or anything, and we had a fish, right? And my fish's name was called Ainscough. I loved Ainscough at that point.
Jamie Ainscough.
Yeah, I loved Ainscough. Yeah. And then he died.
Yeah, because he went to Newcastle after the Dragons, didn't he? Interesting times.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez, there's been some good Dragons players. Just quickly thinking about that with Jamie Ainscough. And you forget that the clubs that they then go on to.
Yep.
St George and Illawarra when they merged. How did that affect you? Or did you remember that happening?
So I was year 7. Yeah, year 7 was the 99 grand final for me.
Did you know what was going on?
I wasn't diehard then.
Okay.
So I was more just a fan or whatever.
Yeah.
And then being in my collecting started by being in an unhealthy relationship. So basically, when I was stuck with this woman who I didn't have a way out of, that was sort of my release.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it just started from there, and I just could not stop. And just, I don't know, I guess I've got a very addictive personality. That once I start something, so hopefully that can transfer into my training, and then I can get to where I need to get to quicker than.
Yeah, you will, mate. You've come so far in 12 months, and I'll put up the photo, and you've got a photo of a before and after, just in 12 months, and you know, I can see that when you put your mind to something, you can achieve anything.
Yep.
And you know, the inspiration that you've given so many people in here alone, let alone, you know, your family, people that you work with, your friends, you know, man, you just keep doing what you're doing, because it's awesome. Everyone loves having you around, loves being around you, and I don't think you realise how many people you are inspiring from just the way you're living your life.
Yep.
So man, hats off to you.
I just had this thing too where I just said to myself, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. So I want to get better. So, and that involves everything from training to food to fathering so I'm just trying to get better, and it's definitely on the right track, definitely.
Awesome. With your kids, what do you hope for them? What do you want from them in for their life?
Just to enjoy it.
Yep.
You know, and you're gonna make mistakes, and you just got to learn from them. Don't dwell on it. Just, you know, smile.
Yep.
Be happy. You know, and I'm giving them every opportunity to do those things. So, growing up in a family where we're always happy and never, you know, nothing worries us except when the Dragons lose. Me and my old man.
Which is happening a little bit these days, isn't it?
You know, I was in the other room the other night, and all I could hear is him yelling out was, "Get that ravioli off the field." I was talking about Ravalawa or whatever. He's out there with a 4X about to throw it at someone. I'm like, righto.
Get that ravioli off the field.
Yeah.
I love it. My mum's she's South, loves them, and has a little bit of OCD. Only when the teams are about to run out, she has this timing where she has these toy Souths, fluffy dogs and stuff, and she has to sit them on the lounge, the top of the lounge, facing the TV. Otherwise, Souths are going to lose.
Yeah.
Mate, there's some real weird things that league supporters do.
That's it.
Do you have if you could sign 3 players for the Dragons next year, who would they be?
Luke Keary.
They could be anyone. Yep, Luke Keary.
James Tedesco.
Yep.
And we'll do a forward. Go. One of the Melbourne forwards. Let's go Kenny Bromwich.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Sammy Hollis will be happy with that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he loves Keary and Tedesco. Yeah, so mate, they're 3 good signings.
They're just different gravy, aren't they?
You
know, there's there's Nathan at the moment. There's Nathan Cleary, Luke Keary, Tedesco, and then everyone else is so much. It's a different league.
Yeah. It's probably coming into an exciting time for the Dragons, because they do need to rebuild.
Definitely.
They need to attack for some of the best talent on the market, but it all starts with a coach. So they need to sort that out.
The problem is there's 15 other clubs trying to do the same thing.
Yes.
So that's what my thought was. I think you've got to have a mix between juniors and talent from elsewhere. So I think that's why Penrith's starting to come up, because they've always had that junior base. Yeah. But it makes a difference, definitely.
Yeah.
And when we did win it, obviously all those juniors are still there. You had your Ben Crays and your Matt Coopers and Ben Hornbys, everyone who grew up there, like Jason Nightingale.
Yes. Yep.
So
he was a big loss when he left. Nightingale. He was a lot better than what people.
I love Gypsy too. He was always good with the fans and stuff as well.
Yeah. It's going to be a long year, I think.
Yes.
With another 8 weeks to go. She'll be right. What else? Traveling. So all those places that you went to.
Yep.
What was your favourite?
I loved Italy. I thought that was cool. Rome, especially.
Yeah.
Just so much there, and like history and stuff like that. Like I went, like the first time I went was like on a Kentucky tour.
Yeah.
So you just think in your head you're just going to get pissed up, but then when you get there and you see everything that's in front of you, you got to sort of like show like the respect for it, and like and I was like interested in it, you know. I didn't do any research going into it, but then just being there and seeing it was a completely different story.
Yeah, I think we don't have a lot of deep history here in Australia, but when you go and visit those places and just see thousands of years worth of history, it sort of hits you in the feels a bit.
Definitely.
Yeah. To think how long civilizations have survived and thrived in those times, and where we are now.
Yep.
How did your mum end up in Australia?
Her father seen an ad on TV, and then they moved the next week.
What the?
Yeah.
What was
Not
the
joking.
ad?
I don't know. Something about he must have watched something,
Jesus.
and it said something like property in Australia or something. And then she moved to Riverston. Welcome to Rivo. You've just left America, and then now you Riv Vegas. Wow.
Wow. So you travel from America. Yep. I'm going to go and live in Riverston, New South Wales, Australia.
Yeah, insane.
Has she enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she still goes back every year.
Okay.
So she goes back for a month every year, and then when she goes back, she brings back my grandmother's sister with her, because she's like in the 90s, going into her 90s now, I think. So we're constantly seeing family and stuff. I haven't got much family here except for a little bit on my dad's side, but
your dad's from here?
Yeah. So Windsor.
Okay.
So he lived there, and he was the golfer, and I was every other sport. So I could flog him at everything: pool, cards, flog him. But yeah, he still got me on golf. He won A grade a few times at Windsor, so he was pretty talented. And then he got run over by a truck. So
what? How did that happen?
He was working RTA night shift.
Yeah.
He was like putting up the signs and stuff like that, and I think a huge truck reversed it, on night works, and then ran over his leg. And so like he's got a scar from like halfway up his groin all the way down his leg, and it's like that thick.
Mate.
Anyone who sees it, he says, I got bit by a shark. That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
And he was almost on verge of like trying that PGA and stuff at that point, and from there, see you later.
How does he deal with that?
I've never really spoken to him about it, to be honest, but he never played properly again after that. Like he went back and played, but
I think that's the hardest thing for athletes, when they have that potential and then you couple that with the desire, and then it's either taken away from you or through either, outside influences like, you can't get signed anywhere, or you can't get an opportunity, but then have an injury. I think that athletes really struggle and can their whole life and lead them down addictions and all sorts of things in an ability to cope with it.
I just saw on the news last night that Parramatta bloke, he got done with all the drugs or whatever because he couldn't. Apparently his excuse was that he didn't get a contract or something, so then he's turned to a life of crime and
trying to import 900 kilos of coke.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Yeah, it's one. Yeah, so it was. I was interested to see if he had demons from that. Yeah, so it would be hard, especially injury and something that wasn't his fault.
Yeah, definitely. Like a McKinnon or something, like constantly living his life with what ifs and
Yeah, mate. Hats off to him and the way he's handled himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Another Dragons junior there.
Yeah. That's actually I forgot he started off at the Dragons.
Yeah, and then Bennett took him.
That's why. Did he start at the Dragons when Wayne Bennett was there? And then Bennett took him to Newcastle? Yeah.
I think he played less than 10 games for the Dragons, and then went up there and started getting a good name for himself. And
yeah, wow. You never know, mate. You might see Bennett back at the Dragons.
Until I see something like in concrete, I don't even worry about it anymore. So,
would you like to have him back?
I think he would show stability and, but he's also getting a little bit older now that just seeing what just happened obviously a little bit of care factor's not there, or other stuff's going on behind the scenes.
I think there's a lot going on for him personally.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, mate. Well, we've just done an hour and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, so time flies, eh?
Yep.
We might. I've got some rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
We'll just see how you go with those.
Righto.
What's your favourite takeaway meal?
It'd have to be sweet and sour chicken, Chinese.
Yeah, nice. Any particular restaurant?
River Orchid.
Go there, Orchid.
Yes.
What's your favourite all-time movie?
Oh, don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
What?
Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
What the?
It's a real movie. So it's like a mock, like, you know how a scary movie takes the piss out of all those other ones?
Yep.
This was the first ever one that was like that. So
Right,
it's like early 90s.
Okay.
So it's Marlon Wayans, the Wayans brothers or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's, so it's all like hood movies. So Menace to Society, Juice, Boys in the Hood.
Yep.
So it's all that just mixed into one.
Wow.
It's an absolute cracker.
I'll have to watch that.
It's funny. It's funny.
What's it like being a DJ?
Oh, Jesus. The Sniffles represent. That was my DJ name with me and my friend Neil.
Sniffles?
The Sniffles.
Yeah, right.
The Sniffles. I don't know how it came about, but like that was us, me and my friend Neil. We played in the city a couple of times and stuff. But
is it Laboon?
Laboon. Yeah, so I used to run like this DJ night down at the club there.
Yeah.
And the first night, they're thinking, oh yeah, we're only going to get a few people, like 500 people rocked up.
Fair dinkum.
Yeah. And then the next one I did like 2 months later, 800 people rocked up. I think the bar sales were high 20s. It was ridiculous.
What are you doing, man?
Oh, I don't know.
Are you going to pursue this as a career?
Oh, I'm out of the game, mate. I don't know the industry anymore. I don't know the game.
You're going to come back, surely.
Nah.
Mate, if you're pulling crowds at 800,
Nah.
What's the secret to being a good DJ?
Beat matching. And I wasn't that good at it anyway, but I gave it a crack.
Do you like doing it?
All my stuff's at my mate's house now, but like occasionally we'll have a muck around, and I'd like to show Chad how to do it because it also helps with like other instruments and stuff as well, like just with beat matching and just dun, 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 and just getting there.
Mate, we'd have to get you in here to do some classes instead of whacking on Spotify.
Yeah.
To get you up into a corner and get the DJ happening.
I'll just wait for the next, what is it, one of the...
The next comp?
Yeah, the comp.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Do you like doing it?
It's alright, I guess. Like, I think it was, I don't know, it was more of a hobby than just mucking around and then taking it seriously, to be honest.
Mate, if you're pulling 500 and 800 crowds, you're going all right, buddy.
Yeah, it was a one-off. I've actually still got the video of it at home. Yeah, there's a video of it.
Send me that too, brother. Yeah. You can thank GC for that question.
Oh, yeah, right.
And he also wanted to know if you have shares in Radox Company.
Yeah, I do. Well, not so much anymore, but all the Epsom salts and all those bath oils, they really work well.
Oh, classic, especially at CrossFit.
Definitely.
If you had one elite talent or superpower, what would you want?
Go back in time.
Any particular year or era?
I always think about it, like if you could, would you go back with the knowledge you had, or would you, say for instance, like for me, my high school was just fantastic. So I'd go back to year 7.
Yep.
But would I want the knowledge I have obtained now?
Yes.
And the things I don't know. I think I'd want to do that.
Would you make a lot of different decisions?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'd already know which girls are coming for me early.
Oh, imagine you had that.
Yeah, I'd just be walking around going, I don't chase them, I replace them, and if I'm caressing them, I'm undressing them.
But now I can see why you're the good DJ.
Yeah. I've got a head like a beaten favourite, but my chat's pretty good.
Yeah. Any more chat?
No, not for you.
We're definitely doing another an R-rated podcast.
Right,
mate, for sure.
I've got a few.
We might get a few lads around and do one.
Yeah, good on you. Sounds good.
If you're down to your last $20, how would you spend it?
Am I still alive the next day, or is it?
No, this is your last $20 and it's all over.
3 long necks and new.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Is that your go-to? 2 is new?
Yeah, 2 is new.
Jeez.
I was never, I used to drink it as a young kid, and then I got into like all the low carbs and stuff like that.
Yep.
And this is how I gained all the weight. So I maintained about 110 for like 10 years.
Yep.
Drinking that much. I maintained that much. Then I got onto this Cooper's something, and I gained 16 kilos in 6 months drinking this Cooper's thing. And my mates like trying to explain to me that it's like drinking a milkshake, mate. So I was having however many, and and then as soon as I got off it and started again, I was fine.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Coopers.
Oh, wow.
Keep those to yourself.
Yep.
So 3 long necks and you.
Yep.
Love it.
Definitely.
Mate, thanks so much for doing this. Hey,
No worries.
I think this gives everyone a little more insight into you and what you go through and where you've worked and a little bit more about yourself. So really appreciate the time you've taken.
No worries.
Personally, from me, mate, you're an inspiration, and I love hearing your story. And keep up the good work, mate. People are looking to you for. If he can do it, I can do it.
Yep.
And the way you're a father to your kids, you should be very proud of yourself, and I'm sure that they're so happy to have you as a dad. So, mate, keep on trucking.
I think if you got the mentality with it, the physical stuff comes later. So
100%.
that was my main thing that was lacking at the start, and now I've got it. Anyone can do it. So as long as you're in the right headspace and you want to do it, you're going to fail and fail and fail. Eventually, you're going to get there.
100%.
So,
all right, take care, brother.
No worries.
Thanks for this.
No worries.
Cheers. Done. Awesome, man.
Jesus.
Fuck, I didn't know a lot of that stuff about you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll just stop the video.